Pacers. She's a 5'10" junior guard. She's from Neelyville, Missouri. She wears number 10. Meet Gentry Worley. A 5'4" freshman guard out of Raleigh, North Carolina, wearing number 12. Paris Webster. A 5'9" junior guard from Tucson, Arizona, wearing number 13, Jaya Nelson. A 5'6" sophomore guard from Dayton, Ohio, number 14, Haley Younger. And a 6' senior forward from Madrid, Spain, wearing number 20, Marta Rivera. The head coach of the Pacers is Mark Miller. The assistant coach, Brittany Guy.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Convocation Center on the campus of the University of South Carolina at Aiken for tonight's women's basketball Peach Belt Conference matchup between the visiting Flagler Saints from St. Augustine, Florida, and your USC Aiken Pacers. I'm Reeves Altman on the call. Thank you so much for joining, and we are literally seconds away from the tip-off. The Saints come into tonight 5-7 on the year, 0-2 in conference play, 0-4 on the road. Pacers 4-8 on the year, 0-2 in conference play as well, but 3-1 here at the Convocation Center, so they defend home court very well as we are just seconds away from tip-off now. Marta Rivera for the Pacers and number 32, Maddie Erickson for the Saints. It's controlled by the Saints and given off to number 2, McClendon. McClendon has it on the left side, picked up defensively by Webster for the Pacers. McClendon picks up her dribble and passes over to the right side. McCormick, she takes it into the middle of the Pacer defense and converts for 2 to get the Saints on the board first. Webster brings it up for the Pacers now. Trying to get it to Worley inside. She's looking around, takes a screen from Rivera, drives into the paint. Drives no good. Rebound on the backside goes to number 15. That's Reddick for the Saints. Beltarina brings it up for the Saints. Now Erickson in the middle, passing down low to McClendon. No good. Rebound to Rivera. Now passing up to Webster. And Webster took one too many steps there, being called for a travel, and the ball goes back to Flagler. Starting 5, number 2, Destiny McClendon. Number 3, Charlotte McCormick. Number 5, Dane Bellarina. Number 15, Sailor Reddick. And number 32, Maddie Erickson are the starting 5 for the Saints. And we'll get you the starting 5 for the Pacers in just a second. Feeding into the corner, number 15, Reddick passes down low to Erickson, who's going to give to Bellarina. Shot no good. Pacers control it. Unger with it, feeds down low to Rivera. Rivera takes 2 steps, drives to the basket, no good, and rebounded by Beltarina. She passes up to McCormick quickly. She has it on the left side. Drives in, dribbles back out, giving to Reddick. Reddick's going to feed to Erickson in the paint, giving over to McClendon. McClendon drives left. She's picked up by number 13, Nelson for the Pacers. A cross-court pass to McClendon is good for 2. 4-0. Flagler now leads. Quickly, starting 5 for the Pacers. Number 10, Gentry Worley. Number 12, Paris Webster. Number 13, Jaya Nelson. 14, Haley Unger. And 20, Marta Rivera, as the pass is tipped and almost intercepted by Flagler, but took one too many steps out of bounds, and the ball would stay with the Pacers. Ball is inbounded by Webster, gives to Worley. Worley driving, picked up by Reddick defensively. She passes to Webster. Webster looks around, drives in. Shot no good, but a foul is called, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Foul is on number 15, Sailor Reddick. That's her first and the team's first.
Sailor Reddick, number 15, called for the foul. That is her first and the team's first. Paris Webster heads to the line for USC Aiken. Webster on the season from the line is shooting 50%. As her first free throw is good, which gets the Pacers on the board here this afternoon. Webster's second is good as she goes 2 for 2 from the line and cuts the Saints' lead in half. Reddick brings the ball up now, the right side. She's going to give off to McCormick, who passes up to McClendon. McClendon feeds down low to Erickson. Erickson looking around, calling for a handoff. She fakes to McClendon, is going to give to fake to McCormick, give to McClendon. Her three-pointer no good, rebounded by Worley, who passes to Webster. Webster gives to Worley, looking around now, and she gives off to Nelson. Nelson finds Unger, who's going to give back to Webster. Webster looking around, who's going to find Rivera at the top. Her three-pointer on the way, no good, rebounded by the Saints. That's number 3, McCormick. McCormick pushing the ball, passing to Reddick. Reddick drives in, stops at the free throw line, makes a pass down low to Erickson, and puts it in for 2. Now Webster giving to Worley. Worley looks down low for Unger. Unger stops. Jump shot on the way, off the backboard, no good. Fought for down low and pulled by Belterina. Now Reddick giving back to Belterina. Reddick drives into the free throw line, finds number 2, that's McClendon in the corner. Her three-pointer no good, tipped down low and pulled back by Belterina for the Saints. Now Reddick drives to the free throw line. Her jump shot on the way, no good, is pulled down low by Rivera. Ball back in the hands of the Pacers. Webster looking to push the tempo now. She gets to the free throw line, stops, shoots, no good. Rivera's right there for the second chance, and she's in for 2. Saints pushing the ball up quickly now. Reddick finds McCormick in the corner, no good. Rebounded by the Pacers, that's Nelson. Nelson quickly gives it to Unger. Unger looking to feed down low to Rivera. Great transition basket and offense by the Pacers to tie the game at 6. Belterina now gives off to McClendon, and she's called for a travel as substitutions now are coming in. First for Flagler, number 10, Jessica Dowdy, number 11, Lainey Norica coming in for number 5, Belterina, and number 3, Cheryl McCormick. And in for the Pacers is number 3, Olivia Heichel, and number 43, Annalise Malone. Webster with it now. Passing over to Worley on the left side. Worley tries to get it down low. Pass is deflected, but she's able to retain possession. Norica on Worley. She passes to Unger, and Unger's three-point basket is good, giving the Pacers their first lead of the night. Reddick with it, passing over to McClendon. McClendon picked up by Worley. Norica passes to Dowdy in the corner. Dowdy passes up to Reddick. Reddick looking around, finding Erickson down low. Malone falls down, unable to get a foul called, and Erickson converts for 2. Webster gives to Unger. Unger thinks about shooting, but passes down low to Malone. Malone's jump shot on the way, rattles around, and falls. Now Reddick with it, passing over to McClendon. McClendon passing to Norica. Norica dribbling to her right, now passing to Dowdy. Dowdy drives on Webster, picks up her dribble, passes down to Erickson. Erickson looking right at the high post option. Finds Reddick cutting to the basket, and her shot is good from the block. Dowdy on Webster defensively, and she takes a Euro step to the basket for 2. Saints waste no time bringing the ball up the floor. Jump shot from McClendon is good. That was a long 2-pointer, which cuts the Pacers' lead to 1. Substitutions awaiting to check in for both teams. Unger with it now in the corner. She's dribbling right, now dribbles back left. Loses her dribble briefly, but is able to get it back. Webster finds Heichel down low, who finds Worley. Worley takes a step back. Her three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebounded by Erickson. Now Reddick with the ball, driving on Unger. She passes out to Norica. She passes to Erickson at the free throw line. Erickson stops, turns, shoots, no good. Rebounded by Heichel for the Pacers. Ball now in the hands of Webster looking around. She passes back to Heichel. Heichel looks around. Her three-point basket on the way is no good, and there for the rebound is McClendon. Now Reddick with it, giving back to McClendon. McClendon hesitates at the line, drives to the basket, loses her dribble, but it's going to go off of a Pacer, and it'll stay with Flagler. We have a full media timeout on the floor, 3 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the first period. USC Aiken leads Flagler by a score of 13-12. We'll take a quick break and bring you back for the remainder of the first period. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 13-12, USC Aiken leads Flagler. Substitutions coming in first for the Pacers was number 23, Sammy Bardinaro. And number 0, Aspen Weeks, in for the Saints. Narika drives in, but the pass is going to be deflected in the hands of the Pacers. Bardinaro has it, taking 2 steps to the basket, a little too strong. Still fought for, and it's going to be pulled down by number 5, Bartolina. She passes over to McClendon, who's going to give to Bartolina again, who passes back to McClendon. McClendon drives in, passing out. Bartolina open, her three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by Webster for the Pacers. Webster drives in, kicks to Annalise Malone. Malone finds Rivera down low. She fades away. Her shot off the backboard, no good. Bartolina there for the rebound, and she's going to take it herself to the basket. No good, rebounded by Webster. Webster now with it, passing over to Unger. Unger at the top finds Rivera, almost intercepted. The Pacers starting to move it around. Webster dribbling left, picked up by Dowdy. Now gives to Bardinaro. Pass finding Unger, her three-pointer on the way. No good. Rivera there for the rebound. She goes up and gets a foul called, and she'll be going to the line for 2.
Substituting in for the Saints is number 3,
Sherelle McCormick coming back on the floor for Jessica Dowdy for the Saints. And they're actually going to call a travel on that, so no foul was called, and the ball will go back to Flagler. McClendon giving to McCormick, who has it at the top. She finds Narika down low on a give and go. Fadeaway shot rattles around and no good from McCormick. Ball finds the hands of Annalise Malone, who's going to give to Worley. Worley gives back to Malone. Fighting for the ball down low is Rivera. We're going to have a foul called. Not in the act of shooting, it appears. Laney Narika is going to be called for the foul. That is her first foul, team's second. Now number 4. Vika Binge in the lineup for the Saints. Worley, the inbounder, finds Unger. She's unable to hold on to the ball. As this pass out to Rivera, who gives back to Unger. Unger uses a screen, gets open. Her three-pointer on the way is good.
Three-point basket, Haley Unger.
Narika with it. Her cross-court pass is intercepted. It's going to be given to the hands of Unger. Unger, a 2-on-1 break with Worley. She cuts to the basket, shot no good. And we're going to have a defensive foul called on Malone. Unfortunate sequence there for the Pacers on a 2-on-1 break, just unable to convert, which will give the ball back to the Saints. USC Aiken does lead those 16-12 with 1 minute and 29 seconds remaining in the first period. Belterina gives to Weeks, who gives to the top with McCormick. McCormick finds Erickson. Picks up her dribble and finds McCormick dribbling to the left. Three-pointer on the way. Wide open in the corner is Binge for 3. Ball's inbounded to Worley as 1 minute remaining in the first period. Worley drives right, takes a screen from Unger and Malone, dribbling to the baseline. She finds Unger again. Unger, no hesitation. Her three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebounded by McCormick. McCormick finding Weeks, dribbling into a double team. She stops, and her shot from the block is good. That gives the Saints the lead now, back at 17-16. Worley has it up top with Belterina on her defensively. Bardinaro with it on the right side. She tries to get it to Rivera at the top. Pass is almost intercepted. Rivera passes down low to Malone. Malone uses a post move to get to the other block for a layup. And Binge open in the corner again. Her three-pointer no good. Rebounded by Worley. 10 seconds remaining. Shot clock is off. Worley driving up the center of the floor. She takes on a triple team. Three-pointer on the way. Good from Bardinaro. And that'll be the end of the quarter. Pacers end on a high note, 21-17 your score. We'll take a quick break and bring you back for the start of the second period right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back to the Convocation Center for Wednesday night Peach Belt Conference action. USC Aiken and Flagler start off here with the women's game with the doubleheader. The men will be tipping off around 7:30 between the Pacers and the Saints. Start of the second period here, Pacers leading 21-17. Worley gives off to Webster. Webster now drives left. Her shot no good. Rebound on the backside goes to Binge for the Saints. Binge brings it up herself, finding Beltarina, and her three-pointer is good. Worley now going to use a screen, taking it to the basket herself. Rattles around, shot no good. Beltarina there to pull the rebound defensively. Going to give to Weeks. Saints moving the ball up the court aggressively here, and they take the lead now 23-21 after back-to-back threes from Binge. Bardenaro with it on the left side, looking around. Finds Rivera on the left baseline, who's going to find Webster at the top. Webster looking around, dribbling to her right now, takes a screen from Rivera. Driving right, dribbling back left, finds Bardenaro, who's going to give up to Worley. Shot clock at 3. Worley dribbling right, stops, three-pointer on the way. Shot no good, rebound by Beltarina. She's going to find Binge. She dribbles to her left, finds Erickman down low. Another three-pointer on the way from McClendon, and it's good. The Pacers call timeout here with the Saints on a run, back-to-back threes to start the second period. And they lead 26-21 with 8 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the second period. We're going to take a quick break and bring you back after the timeout. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 8 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the second period. USC Aiken trails Flagler by a score of 26-21. Pacers have the ball coming out of timeout. Webster has it on the left side, dribbling right, looks down low for Rivera. The pass was deflected. There's going to be a foul called on the floor. Ball will stay with the Pacers. Sherelle McCormick, number 3, is going to pick up a foul. That's her first. And Webster will be the inbounder for the Pacers. She finds Rivera. Rivera looks around. She finds Unger down low. Unger shot no good. Rebound will go to Beltarina for the Saints. Saints pushing the ball up again. McCormick with it, giving to Binge, who's going to get a Beltarina. Back to Binge. Binge's 3. No hesitation is good. And the Saints have 12 straight points from 3 on 4 possessions. Webster gives to Unger. Unger looking around now. Dribbling right now, picks up her dribble, giving down low to Rivera. Rivera with her back to the basket, finds Webster driving in. Her shot from the block, no good. That's actually going to be blocked by number 32, Maddie Erickson. And Binge's three-pointer on the way. Make it 5 straight threes on 5 possessions. And another timeout for the Pacers as the Saints extend their lead 32-21. So timeout called on the floor by Coach Miller. We're going to take a quick break. 32-21, currently your score. Flagler leads USC Aiken. Welcome back after the 30-second timeout. Pacers set to inbound, and for the first time tonight, we're going to see the Saints in a full-court defense. Nelson inbounds to Webster. Webster picked up immediately by Weeks defensively. Webster has a step, drives into the paint, finds Rivera, finds Unger on the outside. Unger takes a dribble in, steps back, and her three-pointer is good. Haley Unger, a vital part of this Pacers offense. Her three-pointer has been a big factor in their games this year so far. And she's already made 2 on the evening. Beltorina drives in, no good. Rebound by Rivera, ball back in the hands of the Pacers. Webster driving up, she finds Rivera. Rivera looks around and finding Nelson on the right side. Nelson passes to Unger up top. Unger fakes the drive, now passing over to Rivera. Rivera shot from the block, no good. But Heichel there for the rebound, gonna pass back out to Webster. Webster, floater no good from the paint, rebound by Erickson. Beltorina passes up to Binge. Binge on the left side where she's been so good from the three-point line, but it's going to be stolen by Nelson. Nelson's shot on the way, no good, but she's going to be fouled by Beltorina, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Foul was on number 5, Dane Bertolina. That's her first, the team's second.
That's her first and the team's second, as 2 substitutions are coming in for either side. Annalise Malone coming in for the Pacers. That's for Heichel. And McCormick and McClendon back on the floor for the Saints. Gentry Worley preparing to check in, but she has Nelson, so she's checking in for the shooter. So Nelson's first is good. Nelson's second, no good, but it's going to be rebounded by Malone. The ball stay in the hands of the Pacers. Webster with it now, passes to Malone on the right side, going to give right back to Rivera. Webster's three-pointer on the way, no good, rebounded by Rivera again. She finds Haley Unger. Unger fakes right, dribbles left, comes back right, takes it to the basket herself, but the ball is going to be deflected out of her hands, and it looks like it's going to stay with the Pacers for now. As it will, Pacers prepare to inbound. Number 12, Webster, going to be the inbounder. As Worley checks in now for Nelson, and also coming in is Jessica Dowdy for Binge for the Saints. Webster with it, pass into Malone is deflected, but is retained. Rivera has it down low, she drives into the paint. Her fadeaway shot, no good. Rebound fought for again down low and pulled by McCormick for the Saints. Now Reddick driving up the middle of the floor. She passes over to McClendon. McClendon drives right, finds McCormick wide open. Her three-pointer no good. Rebounded by Rivera and the Pacers. Now in the hands of Webster. Webster has it up top, giving to Rivera, giving over to Worley on the left side. Worley passes to Unger. Unger has it at the top. Dribbling to her right, loses her dribble, going to give to Webster now. She takes a screen from Rivera. Driving into the paint, her floater on the way, no good. And we're going to have a shooting foul called as she'll go to the free throw line.
The foul was on number 32, Maddie Erickson.
Maddie Erickson, number 32, is going to be called for the foul. That is her first and the team's third here in the second period. Paris Webster at the line. She is 2 for 2 on the evening so far. As her first is good, make it 3 for 3. Webster goes 2 for 2 again, and your score now 32-27. Reddick brings the ball up, drives to her left, passing to McCormick. McCormick gives to McClendon. McClendon picked up by Unger. Erickson with it at the top. Now she gives a screen for McClendon. McClendon drives in the paint. She has a step on Unger. Contact, but no foul. Is this going to be rebounded by Malone? Webster gives out to Rivera. A dangerous pass, but it's going to find the hands of Annalise Malone, who's passing to Haley Unger. Unger's shot just off, no good. Will go out of bounds and back in the hands of the Saints. Now Reddick with it. She picks up her dribble. A backdoor pass into McClendon is no good, but rebounded by Rivera. Ball almost deflected, but still in the hands of Webster in transition. She passes over to Rivera at the top, who gives to Malone. Malone No hesitation, 3, no good, as it'll go out of bounds and go back to Flagler.
Substituting in for the Saints, number 0, Aspen Weeks.
Aspen Weeks, number 0, coming back on the floor for the Saints. She's in substitution for Sherelle McCormick, number 3. Reddick drives in, passing McClendon. McClendon drives into the three-point line. She passes to Weeks, missing everything. Rebounded by Haley Unger on the backside. Pacers pass out to Worley. Worley drives in. She gets in the paint, stops, passes out to Rivera. Looks down low for Malone, who has a step on the inside. Her shot no good. Ball goes out of bounds and it'll go to the Saints. Dowdy with it, brings it up the floor. Passing off to Reddick on a give and go. Reddick drives in, now passing out to Weeks. Weeks gives to Erickson. Takes the screen on Rivera. She gets to the free throw line. Jump shot is good for 2. Webster passes to Rivera, giving to Unger now on the left side. Unger looking around, who gives to Worley up top. Worley passes back to Webster. He's going to get to Rivera down in the paint. Rivera takes a few dribbles, looks around, now passing out to Unger. A little over Unger's head, but she's able to retain it. Shot clock at 8 now for the Pacers. Unger drives left, gets a screen from Malone. A deep 3 on the way is no good. Rebounded by Worley down low. She's looking around, and we're going to have a travel called on the putback. Ball will go to the Saints. Becca Bench subbing in for Jessica Dowdy for the Saints. And number 23, Sammy Badanaro, coming in for the Pacers in substitution of number 12, Paris Webster. Now Reddick with it, 3 minutes and 23 seconds remaining until halftime. Reddick drives to the free throw line, now gives to Benj. Benj dribbling right, now giving to Erickson at the free throw line. She takes the screen down low. Ball's gonna be off the leg of Malone, but it's gonna stay with the Saints. A backdoor cut from Weeks, and she's gonna go up for 2. Great pass from Reddick down low to keep the ball moving for the Saints. They extend their lead to 9 now. Unger with it, finding Malone down low. She stops. Jump shot no good, rebounded by Reddick. Reddick looking up, pushing the tempo again. McClendon had a step inside on Badanaro, and she's going to get a foul called and go to the line for 2. Number 2, McClendon, is a very effective free throw shooter for the Saints. She is shooting over 85%, actually 88% on the year. As her first free throw is good, and that extends the Saints' lead to double digits, now 37-27. And her second on the way is good, 38-27, now your score. Saints come out again in a full court defense here. Badanaro inbounds to Unger. Unger looking around, giving back to Badanaro. She turns and faces and finds Worley. Worley brings it across, now giving to Unger. Unger looking around, picks up her dribble, finds Worley up top. Her three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by Erickson for the Saints. Reddick pushing the tempo, finding McClendon. She pumps, drives in, shot no good, pulls her own rebound, and is going to take another shot, called for a foul, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2 more free throws. Olivia Heichel called for the foul, and that's going to be her first, the team's second. And her first free throw is good. Second free throw on the way is good. Bertolina, number 5, subs in for Binge for the Saints. Saints still in a full court defense here as the pass is deflected. And in the corner, Worley has it. She's in a drive up. Pacers dangerously close to a 10-second call there, but they get it across. Malone with it, giving back to Worley. Worley drives to her left. Picked up by Weeks defensively. She finds Unger up top, takes a screen from Malone. Takes the dribble back. She's driving on Erickson. She drives to the paint, and her shot rattles around and falls. And good. Unger took a hard fall on that shot, but she is up under her own power. McClendon with it now, pass into Reddick. Reddick drives on Unger. She stops, hesitates, floats in the air. Shot no good. Rebound by Malone. Now in the hands of Worley. Under 2 minutes now, 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. Malone passes to Unger on the left side. She finds Bardonaro open. Her three-pointer on the way. Good. Bardonaro converts, cutting the Saints lead down now to 8. Bertolina thought about shooting, now passes over to Reddick. She's driving into the paint, and she has a cut from Bartolina. She gets down low under the basket, finds a wide open McClendon outside for 3, and her shot is good. 43-32 now your score, just over 1 minute remaining in the period. Worley with it. She gets a screen from Unger and Malone looking around. She gives back to Unger. Unger, no hesitation. 3 on the way is good. Unger's third 3 of the night. Makes your score now 43-35. Bartolina with it. She's trying to find McClendon down low. It's going to be a hard foul by Heichel there going for the ball. The two appear to be okay. Don't think it's going to be in the act of shooting. Has a substitution coming in now for the Pacers. Number 12, Paris Webster checks in for Gentry Worley. So 46 seconds remaining in the second period. Saints with it. Reddick, the inbounder. As she looks around, she finds Weeks. Weeks pumps, fakes, takes one dribble. Jump shot on the way, no good. Rebound fought for and pulled by Heichel. The ball is going to be deflected out of bounds, but will go to the Pacers. Saints still in a full court defense here. Malone takes the inbound pass, looks around, finds Unger. Unger has McClendon on her defensively. Unger keeps her eyes up the court, now finds Webster at the top. 28 seconds remaining in the period, 16 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Malone with it on the right side, now looking around. Still looking, now finds Unger at the top. Unger dribbles to her left, stops at the free throw line, pump fakes, shoots, and her jump shot is good. Unger leading all scorers on the floor with 16. Now Bartolina with it. Shot clock is off. Time at 3 seconds. Erickson hook shot, no good. Rebound, she gets her own rebound. The ball rattles around and the shot is no good. We finally reached halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Your score, Flagler 43, USC Aiken 37. We're going to take a quick break for halftime and bring you back for the start of the third period. Before that, we'll have some second half stats in 15 minutes. Welcome back to the Convocation Center, ladies and gentlemen. Reeves Altman on the call for tonight's Peach Belt Conference women's basketball matchup between Flagler College and USC Aiken. Flagler leads 43-37 coming out of halftime, but before the start of the third period, wanted to bring you some first half stats brought to you by the South Carolina Education Lottery. Leading the way for the Saints with 12 points was Becca Binge. She was key from the three-point line. Right behind her was number 2 Destiny McClendon with 11. They're the leading scorers for the Saints. They pulled 21 rebounds, total 21 defensively, 4 offensively, and were 16 for 37 from the field. Shot 50% from 3, 7 for 14. For the Pacers, Haley Unger is the only one in double figures with 16 points. She's followed by Paris Webster and Sammy Bardenaro, both with 6. The Pacers pulled 23 rebounds, 17 defensively, 6 offensively, and were 13 for 39 from the field, 6 for 16 from the three-point line, 5 for 6 from the free throw line, and the Saints were on 100% from the line, being 4 for 4. So we are set and ready to return to action. The Saints have the ball out of bounds, and we are set and ready to go. McClendon bounces into Belterina, and we are underway. Reddick has it now, picked up by Worley. She feeds down low to McClendon. Count the basket and 1. A quick start to the half for the Saints. Nelson's going to be called for the foul, and McClendon will be back at the free throw line. So Pacers in the first half on a high note with a little bit of momentum, but it is taken right back by the Saints, coming out immediately with an and 1. And she completes the three-point play. Saints still in their full court defense here. Webster has the ball now, dribbling at the top, giving off to Malone. Malone looking around now. She dribbles in on McCormick. McCormick kicks back out to Webster. Webster hesitates right, now drives left. Her jump shot from the free throw line is good. Now Belterina with it, giving off to Reddick. Reddick driving into the free throw line on Worley. Worley staying in a loose man there, as McCormick's jump shot is good. Nelson with another full court defense here. Worley double teamed in the corner as Nelson gets it, passing to Webster. Webster still looking around as she gives back to Nelson. Nelson now looking around again, passing over to Webster, giving to Worley. Worley looking around, getting down low to Rivera. Rivera takes a dribble, finds Annalise Malone on a beautiful pass under the basket for 2. Ballerina with it at the top, dribbling to the left now. She gets a screen from Erickson. Her jump shot no good, rebounded by Nelson. Nelson passes out to Webster. Webster pushing the tempo to Worley. Pass a bit too far ahead as it's going to go out of bounds back to the Saints.
Substituting for Pacers, number 14, Haley Unger.
Haley Unger back on the floor now for the Pacers. She's subbing in for number 13, Nelson. Now number 15, Reddick with it. Dribbling up to McClendon, now giving off to McCormick. McCormick takes a step in from the three-point line, and jump shot is good. McCormick up to 9 points on the night after that jump shot. Webster now with it. Worley has it on the right side. She finds Malone down low. Malone drives to the baseline. Reverse layup, no good. Rebounded by Belterina on the backside. She passes up to Reddick. Reddick drives into the lane, no good. She finds Belterina outside. Her three-pointer is good. Webster dribbles up. She's double-teamed immediately. Worley now drives in. Her jump shot on the way, no good. Rebounded by Rivera. Rivera has it. She takes a dribble, drives in, loses the ball, and it's going to be taken away by Belterina. Now she dribbles up the court herself, passing over to McCormick. McCormick drives in on Unger, and her layup is good. And we have a timeout now on the floor. 7 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the third period. Flagler extends their lead over USC Aiken, 55-41. We'll take a quick break and bring you back to the Convocation Center right after the full timeout. Welcome back after the full timeout. Substitution coming in for the Pacers. Number 0, Destiny Harmon, now on the floor. She came in for Nelson. As Harmon immediately gets some action and is going to take the inbound pass, double team, fought out of the double team and finds Unger. Unger now with it at the top, who's going to find Worley. Trying to get it down low to Malone, but the pass is going to be deflected by Erickson and goes out of bounds. Ball will stay with the Pacers. Worley, the inbounder, finds Malone in the corner. Worley now double teamed. She's going to drive on the baseline, looking around. The pass is intercepted by Rivera. Harmon drives in. Her layup no good, rebounded by Reddick. Reddick finds McClendon down low. Her transition layup no good, rebounded by Malone. Malone gives to Worley, who finds Unger moving up the floor. Unger now looking around, finds Harmon. Harmon has it at the top, finding Worley again, who's going to feed Malone down low. She drives in. Hook shot is good. North Arena shot no good. Going to be rebounded by Worley there. Worley feeds Unger. Unger drives in, looking around, dribbling right, now coming back to her left, doing back out to her right. Harmon open up top. She drives into the paint, looking around, finding Unger at the top. Her shot no good and rebounded by Erickson. As McCormick drives in, and her layup is good. She got a step on Rivera, and she took it to the basket for 2. 57-43 now your score. 6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the third period. We have a full media timeout on the floor. 6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the third period. Sammy Bonadero checks in prior to that timeout, but we're going to take a quick break and bring you back at the end of the timeout. 57-43 your score. Welcome back to the Convocation Center. 57-43 is your score. Flagler leading USC Aiken. Bardonaro, the inbounder now, and she's going to give to Worley. The Saints still in a full court defense here. The Pacers are able to beat it. Harmon on the backside has it. Pump fakes, passing out to Worley. Her three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by Bertorina for the Saints. She takes the ball up the floor herself, picks up her dribble, finds McCormick down low. She spins, drives in, no good. Rebounded by Harmon. Worley gives out to Bardonaro on a give and go. Finding Unger. Unger drives left, wide open in the paint. Count the basket and one. Haley Unger goes strong to the basket, and she'll go to the free throw line to attempt the three-point play. Haley Unger at the free throw line. She is shooting 73% on the year as she completes the three-point play. Now Beltorino with it, driving in, giving off to McCormick. McCormick drives in on Harmon. It'll be called for a travel. Pacer basketball.
Substituting in for Flagler is number 4, Becca Benj.
Becca Benj back on the floor for the Saints. She's coming in substitution of McCormick. Bardonaro, the inbounder, looking around, gives to Unger, giving it back immediately to Bardonaro. A dangerous tip now in the hands of Worley. Worley dribbling left, giving to Unger now at the top, looking around, Finds Harmon on the right side. Harmon passing to Heichel, who gives back to Bardonaro. Pacers with a small lineup here. All guards currently on the floor. Worley drives in. We're going to have a foul called on the floor.
The foul is on number 0, the Saints asking.
Going to be called on number 0, Weeks. That's her second. Pacers are going to take it out on the base on the sideline.
Number 15,
Reddick now coming in substitution of Weeks. Bench playing on the ball defense. Worley takes the ball. Giving to Harmon. Harmon gives to Unger. Now back in the hands of Harmon. Harmon looking around, finding Heichel at the top. Heichel dribbles to her left, giving back to Worley. Worley dribbles in. Takes it left, now drives right. Shot no good. Rebound fought for and pulled by the Pacers. That was number 3, Heichel. As she'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Foul is on number 32, Maddie Erickson.
Maddie Erickson, number 32, called for the foul. That's her second, sending Heichel to the line for the Pacers.
Number 3, Olivia Heichel.
Heichel shooting 87% from the line this year. She is 7 for 8. Make that 8 for 9. Heichel goes 2 for 2 from the line. Ball now back in the hands of Reddick. Reddick finds Baldorino giving over to Binge. Now find Erickson. Erickson looking around, dribbling left, looking around again. Now passes off to McClendon. McClendon drives in. Shot no good, but a foul is called, and she'll go to the line now for 2.
Foul is on number 0, the Pacers, Destiny Harmon, her first.
Destiny Harmon going to be called for the foul. That's her first.
A trip to the charity stripe for Destiny McClendon.
Her first shot is good. Second on the way is good. And they're going to call no basket. I believe we have a lane violation against the Saints. 58-48 now your score. 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the third period. Worley takes the inbound pass. Facing a double team, now giving out to Bardonaro, who gives back to Worley. Worley dribbling right, gives to Harmon. Harmon gives to Unger. Unger looking around, takes a dribble to the left, now gives to Heichel at the top, giving back to Worley. Worley loses the dribble, gets it back, driving in, takes 2 steps. She'll be called for the foul. Reddick's gonna take the first foul, and then she'll go to the line for 2.
That's her second. It's the team's 4th.
That's Reddick's second on the evening. And Gentry Worley at the free throw line, and Worley still looking for her first points. As she converts. Worley, an effective 3 free throw shooter for the Pacers, as she is shooting 73% on the year. She goes 2 for 2 from the line. Baldorino with it now, dribbling up. Bardonaro on her defensively, giving off to Reddick. Reddick drives in, stops, kicks back to McCormick, and her shot is good.
Basket by number 3, Sherelle McCormick.
Unger with it, bringing it up the court. Dribbling up, giving to Bardonaro. Baldorino there in the driving lane for the Pacers. Nowhere to go. Heichel able to retain the pass, giving to Unger. Unger thought about shooting, but now drives in, takes it to the basket herself, and converts for 2. Ball in the hands of Reddick. Reddick drives into the free throw line, kicking to the corner. That's number 3 with it. She drives the baseline. McCormick's shot is good. Worley now looking around. She's driving in, finding Unger. Unger, no hesitation, 3, no good. Rebounded by McCormick. McCormick now driving up. Drives, gives to Reddick, and a foul is going to be called as she'll go to the line for 2. Destiny Harmon going to be called for the foul. That's her second here. Reddick's first free throw is good. And her second free throw, no good. It actually gets stuck on the backboard.
Basketball belongs to the Pacers.
And it's going to be counted as a jump ball, and it'll go to the Pacers. Bardonaro inbounds to Unger now. Unger looking around now, driving right. Calling for some off-the-ball movement. Ball almost deflected. And Worley's going to drive, fading away. He's going to have a foul called, and she'll go back to the line for two.
The foul is on number 15 of the Saints, Flagler. That's her third. It's the team's fifth. Going to the line with two will be Gentry Worley. And coming into the game is number 0 for Flagler, Aspen Weeks.
Aspen Weeks back on the floor for the Saints. She's subbing in for number 15, Sayla Reddick. Worley now at the line. As her first rattles around and is no good. Her second on the way is good. It's 1 for 2 trip for Worley at the line. Saints pushing the tempo once again up the floor. Ballerina with it. Her hook shot no good, but a foul's going to be called as she'll go to the line to attempt 2 free throws.
Foul on the Pacers, Sammy Bardonaro. That's her second. It's the team's fourth.
Sammy Bardonaro going to be called for the foul. That's her second.
Substituting for the Pacers, number 12, Paris Webster.
And Webster comes back on the floor. Number 12 subbing in for Harmon for the Pacers. Delta Arena's first shot is good. Second on the way, no good, rebounded by Worley. Webster with the ball driving in. Picks up her dribble, finding Bardonaro on the right side. Bardonaro finding Malone down low. She takes a couple jab steps and her jump shot is good. Now Beltorina with it, giving off to Weeks. Weeks drives in on Bardonaro, kicking back out. Thought about a three, but passes over to McCormick. McCormick drives in on Malone, finding Beltorina wide open on the three-point line, no good. The Saints pull their own rebound, and McClendon will go to the free throw line. A lot of fouls being called here in the third period by both sides. A lot of trips to the free throw line for the Saints and the Pacers.
At the charity stripe once again, number 2, Dusty McClendon.
McClendon back at the free throw line. And her first is good. Her second, no good, but we have another lane violation called. No free, no basket. Maddie Erickson subs in for the Saints for Beltorina. The ball in the hands of the Pacers. Flagler leads 65-55 with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. Now Webster driving right, takes a screen from Unger. Picks up her dribble, jump shot on the way, no good, rebounded by Erickson. Erickson finds McClendon, and she'll bring it across half court. She drives in on Malone. Stops, turns, fires, no good, rebounded by Unger. Unger looking around. Dribbles to her left, now finding Webster. Webster pump fakes, drives in, is going to be called for a travel. Ball go back to the Saints. Bertolina back on the floor, subbing in for McClendon. And Bertolina now with it, giving over to Binge. Binge passing up to McCormick. McCormick has it up low, finding Erickson. Erickson taking a few dribbles, now giving back to McCormick. McCormick drives in on Unger, stops, turns, fades away, no good. Rebound fought for down low, and they're going to say it's going to go off the Pacers and stay with the Saints.
Substituting for the Pacers, number 13, Jay Nelson.
Now Nelson in, subbing in for Worley. Erickson takes the inbound pass at the top. Beltorina with it, her three-pointer off Erickson's screen, no good. Rebound pulled by Malone for the Pacers.
1 minute left in the quarter.
1 minute remaining in the period. Webster with it now. She's looking around, passing over to Unger on the right side, who feeds down low to Malone. Malone almost loses the ball, now driving in. Is going to be called for a foul here.
The foul was on number 32, Manny Erickson.
And Malone will go to the free throw line.
Going to the line for the Pacers to shoot 2 is number 43, Annalise Malone.
Annalise Malone shooting 58% from the free throw line this year. And she'll be shooting 2. Her first shot is good. And her second is good. Malone goes 2 for 2 from the line. 45 seconds remaining in the third period. Bertarina with it, giving off to McCormick, who's going to give to Weeks. A lot of movement up top here for the Saints. Weeks finds Bertarina down low, who's going to find Binge in the corner, wide open. Her three-pointer no good, rebounded on the backside by Nelson. Nelson gives to Webster, who brings it across half court. Shot clock at 21, and a game clock at 18, shot clock is off. Webster driving right, now giving to Webster. Bounce pass to Bardonaro. She has it up top, looking around, gets a screen from Malone on the right side. Bardonaro drives in, loses her dribble, picks up her dribble now, fading away, shot no good, rebounded by Bardonaro. 3 seconds now on the clock. 1 second, her shot from half court, no good. Actually, might have been deflected by Bardonaro, but that's the end of the period after 3. Your score, Flagler 65, USC Aiken 57. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It is anyone's ball game. We're going to take a quick break and bring you back for the start of the fourth period right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back. Start of the fourth period here from the Convocation Center. Flagler leads USC Aiken by a score of 65-57. A high-scoring third quarter, almost even. Flagler with 22 points, USC Aiken with 20, and they will start with possession. The Saints will to start the fourth. Bartolina gets a screen from Erickson. She picks up her dribble, finding McClendon up top. McClendon drives on Harmon. Her basket, a strong finish, converting for 2. Nelson with it now, looking around. Giving to Webster, he's going to pass over to Nelson, who gives to Harmon up top. Harmon looking around, now finding Bardonaro on the right side. Passing to Malone up top on a give and go with Nelson. Nelson now driving, has a step, but give down low to Malone again. Her shot from the block is good for 2. Now Botarina with it, giving to McCormick. McCormick driving to the baseline. Stopped there defensively by Nelson, who's going to give down low to Reddick, who's going to come off of a screen on the backside and is going to convert for 2. Now Nelson with it. She's going to drive in. Was going to drive through contact and get called for a foul.
The foul was on number 3, Sherelle McCormick. It's her second, and the team's first this quarter.
Now Unger and Worley checking back into the lineup for USC Aiken. Pacers have it out of bounds. Malone takes the inbound pass, faces the basket, gives to Unger. Unger with it now. The ball's going to be deflected out of her hands. Malone right there with it. Her jump shot from the top of the key, no good. Rebounded by Beltarina down low. Beltarina pass, bringing the ball up now. Finding McClendon in transition. Her jump shot good for 2. Webster now with it, looking around. Passing over to Nelson. Nelson has it. Finding Worley, going to give down low to Malone again, and we're going to have a foul called down low on McClendon for a hold.
Was on number 2 for the Saints, Destiny McClendon. That's her first and the team's second. Checking in the game is number 0, Aspen Weeks.
Number 0, Aspen Weeks checks in for McCormick. And Webster will take it on the baseline. Trying to get it down low to Worley, and the ball's going to be deflected out of bounds, and it'll stay with USC Aiken. Webster drives in, now giving back to Unger. Finding Malone down low again. She drives in, trying to reverse to the other block, but her shot's no good, and it's going to go back to Worley. Excuse me, Reddick with it now in transition. Worley on her defensively. Weeks with it, giving back to Reddick. Reddick pumps once, drives to the baseline, now kicks back out to Weeks. Weeks thought about shooting, now kicks out to Reddick, who drives into the paint. Finding Weeks, her jump shot on the way, no good. Rebounded by Unger. Webster now finds Worley. He's going to find Nelson on the left side. Nelson looking around, dribbling, now finding Unger up top. Unger fakes a pass inside, now drives on a screen from Worley. Offensive foul, Saints basketball.
Foul was on the Pacers number 10, Destiny Worley, her first, the team's first this quarter. Checking the game for the Pacers number 23, Sammy Bartonaro.
Sammy Bartonaro checks into the game for number 13, Nelson. Ball back in the hands of the Saints now, 71-59 your score, 7 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the 4th period. Erickson now has it, as she is going to be hit in transition. The ball is going to go out of bounds, but a foul is called. It's going to be called on Worley. That's her second. Weeks finds herself wide open under the basket on the inbound pass to convert for 2. Pacers with it. Malone fakes the transition pass to Unger, but finds Worley up top. Worley drives in on McClendon, now finding Webster up top. Webster drives in, now finding Bartonaro. Bartonaro looking around, feeds down low to Malone. Malone has it at the top, drives in. Shot blocked by Erickson, and it's going to be pulled by Bertolina. Now in transition, Weeks with it. Her shot from the block, no good. She pulls her own rebound, shot no good again. Pulls her own rebound for a 3rd time, and we're going to have a held basketball, and it'll go to the Pacers.
Substituting in number 3, Sherelle McCormick, and number 20 of the Pacers, Marta Rivera.
Marta Rivera back in the game, subbing in for Annalise Malone. Bartonaro set to inbound, and she inbounds to Webster. Webster giving to Rivera now. Bartonaro with it up top. Passing back to Webster. Now dribbling around. Passing over to Worley. Worley has it now, finding Rivera down low. She's looking around. Has nowhere to go. Gives to Unger. And a 3-second violation is going to be called on the Pacers, and it'll go to the Saints. McCormick trying to get it down low, but the pass is going to be intercepted by Worley. She has a one-on-one break. Oh, my goodness, as we have a hard fall after that shot. Worley is down, but she is up under her own power. We're going to take a break as she is checked out by the trainer. 73-59 your score. Worley is back up, and she's all right under her own power as she'll be going to the free throw line to shoot two. 73-59 the score. And Worley's going to be checked out of the game. Annalise Malone is going to be at the line shooting 2 free throws here. Her first no good. And now Worley back at the scores table preparing to come into the game. Malone's shot is good. She goes 1 for 1 from the line. 73-60 now the score. Ball in the hands of McClendon up top, finding Erickson down low. She faces the basket, drives on Malone. Her shot no good, rebounded by Malone. Now in the hands of Webster. She finds Rivera down low, looking around. Rivera spins. Her shot from the block, no good. Rebounded by McCormick. McCormick finds Reddick in transition, finding Weeks on the block, open for 2. Unger finds Malone. Malone, jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Erickson. As Weeks finds McClendon on the backside. Her shot no good. Rebound to Malone. Pacers pushing the tempo here. Webster up to Unger. Unger's 3 just off the front rim, no good. Rebounded again by the Saints. Weeks with it up top. It's going to be stolen by Webster. And we're going to have a foul called. I believe it's going to be on Weeks after the steal from Webster.
The foul was on number 0. Aspen Weeks, that's her 3rd, it's the team's 4th. And we have a full timeout on the floor.
As Weeks going to be called for the foul. That's her 4th. Full timeout on the floor. 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. 75-60. Flagler leads. We'll take a break and bring you back for the remainder of the action right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back after the timeout. 75-60 your score. Gentry Worley back in the lineup now for the Pacers. As he takes the inbound pass and gives to to Webster. Webster gives them to Unger up top. Unger drives to the free throw line. One-handed shot, no good. And the ball goes to Reddick. Weeks drives the baseline on Webster. Now she's double teamed by Worley, picks up her dribble, finds McClendon up top. McClendon finds down low to Erickson, count the basket and one.
Erickson's basket was good. Foul was on the Pacers, number 20, Marta Rivera, her first.
That's Marta Rivera's first. A timeout on the floor, 77-60 your score. 30-second timeout, but we'll still take a quick break and bring you back. When we come back, we'll be going to the free throw line for Erickson to attempt the three-point play. Welcome back from the timeout. And Maddie Erickson at the line to attempt the three-point play. Her shot no good, rebounded by Malone. Ball now in the hands of Webster. Webster driving left, giving to Bardonaro. She takes the screen from Malone. Her jump shot on the way is good for two. Reddick now drives, dribbling left, now driving right. Nowhere to go, picks up her dribble, finding McCormick. McCormick from the free throw line, good for two. Now Bardonaro takes screens from Malone and Worley. Takes a step back. Her shot no good. Rebounded by Malone, and her put back from the block. Good for two. McCormick with it up top. Passing to Erickson. Giving back to McCormick. Webster on her defensively. Looking around. Now giving back to Weeks. As a miscommunication, the ball goes out of bounds. It'll go to USC Aiken. Webster dribbles up the left side. Finding Worley up top. Her shot on the way. High arcing shot, no good. Rebounded by Reddick. And a pass up to Weeks, looking around. She backs in on Webster, pumps once, goes up, and her shot from the block, good for two. Now Webster with it, 2 minutes and 25 seconds remain. Bardonaro's three on the way, good. And after the inbound pass is going to be stolen by Worley. Worley draws the baseline, reverse shot no good. She pulls her own rebound. We're going to have a foul called on and it looks like the Pacers will have it out of bounds.
The foul was on number 0, Aspen Weeks. That's her fourth. It's the team's fifth.
Aspen Weeks called for the foul. That's her fourth.
Going to the line for the Pacers, shoot two, Gentry Worley.
And Gentry Worley now at the line, shooting two. As her first is good. And her second on the way, good as well. 81-69 now your score. Pacers come out in a full court defense, applying some pressure to the Saints. McClendon with the ball, picked up by Bardonaro as she brings it across half court. Now on a give and go with McCormick. She has it up top, now giving to Reddick. Reddick finds to Erickson down low. McClendon thought about shooting, now driving in on Webster. She passes back, Reddick with it, and she's to be called for a travel. Pacer basketball. Now Webster with it. Unger, her jump shot rattles around, pulled by Malone. Malone shot no good, but she'll draw a foul and go to the line for two.
The foul was on number 15, Shayla Reddick. That's her fourth.
15, Reddick called for the foul. That's her fourth. And Annalise Malone at the line shooting two.
Substituting in is number 5, Dane Bertolino.
Malone's first shot is good. And her second. So Malone converts 2 for 2 from the line. And the Pacers looking to go small here as Destiny Harmon, checks into the lineup. And now all 5 guards on the floor now. Still in a full court defense are the Pacers. McCormick with it, picked up by Unger. Saints appear to be in no hurry to take a shot here. Erickson with it at the top. Now in the hands of Weeks. Weeks looking around, finding Beltorina. She drives in on Unger, picks up her dribble, looking around, finding Weeks again. Worley with it. She takes a step back. Her fadeaway, no good. Goes out of bounds. Pacer basketball. 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining. 10-point game, 81-71 your score. Number 15, Sailor Reddick comes back on the floor now. Bardonaro preparing to inbound to Webster. Clock continues to roll. We are now down to 1 minute and counting. Double screen from Unger and Malone. Webster drives in, picks up her dribble, giving back out to Worley. Worley looking around, driving in. She gets to the free throw line, backs into the basket. Her shot from the block, no good. She pulls her own rebound, and she'll go to the free throw line again to shoot two. Foul going to be called on McClendon, number 2. That's her second of the evening. Destiny Harmon back on the floor and substituting for Haley Unger. And Bertolina on the floor again, now subbing in for Reddick. Worley's first free throw is good. Her second on the way, good as well.
And we have a 30-second timeout on the floor.
30-second timeout called by Flagler on the floor. 48 seconds remaining, 81-73 is your score. A hard-fought matchup by both teams here tonight. Just everything you'd want out of a conference matchup here as conference play starts for both teams. As earlier last week, Flagler lost at Georgia Southwestern 87-68, and then versus North Georgia 69-66. USC Aiken also off to an 0-2 start. They lost at Lander 63-59, and then at Georgia College 81-78. So 2 closely contested matchups here for the Pacers in the Peach Belt, and then another highly contested matchup this evening as well. Bertolina preparing to inbound now for the Saints. 5 guards still on the floor now for the Pacers. And it's going to be inbounded to McClendon. She's picked up by Worley. Worley with her nowhere to go. McClendon has a step driving in. She stops, hesitates. Jump shot no good. Rebounded by Worley. Worley pushes the ball up to Nelson. Nelson drives the baseline. She's on her way to the block for two. Inbound quickly to McClendon. McClendon is going to be fouled by Webster on a drive. Defensive foul there. 24 seconds remaining. 81-75 is your score. Looking around now, ball is inbounded to Weeks. Weeks picked up by Webster defensively, double teamed by Worley as they get it across half court, but a backcourt violation. McClendon looking to move up court, but took a step into the backcourt, and it's going to be Pacer basketball. 19 seconds remaining. Annalisa Ramon coming in for Harmon, and then Erickson coming in now for Binge. Nelson, the inbounder for the Pacers, and now Reddick coming in for number 2, McClendon. 19.7 seconds remaining, 81-75 your score. Webster takes the ball. She gets a screen from Malone, driving in. She's going to take it to the basket herself and is in for two. Quickly in a full court defense now are the Pacers. No foul called. McCormick with it, driving up the floor, and she's now going to be fouled by Worley, and she'll go to the line. Pacers took a long time to foul there. 6 precious seconds were able to tick off the clock in this 4-point contest. The foul is going to be called on Bardonaro. That was her third. And McCormick will go to the line, shooting 2. Her first is good, 82-78. Now your score. And that was her first foul shot of the evening. As she's 1 for 1, make it 2 for 2. Timeout now on the floor called, 83-77 your score. Flagler with a 2-possession lead. Pacers making a push here in the fourth quarter, but running out of time as we'll take a quick break and bring you back for the remainder of the action right here from the Convocation Center. Welcome back after the timeout. Pacers going to have it on the sideline. Gentry Worley preparing to inbound the ball. 9.6 seconds remaining, 83-77. Flagler leads. Ball inbounded to Malone, given right back to Worley. Worley looking around. Her three-pointer on the way. The bank is open and it's good. Now we have a timeout called by Flagler, a high arcing shot. Gentry Worley having a quiet night offensively, now over with 10 points. But this game is nowhere near over. 83-80, your score with 4.9 seconds remaining. Number 0, Harmon, and number 13, Nelson, now checking in for the Pacers. A quick 30-second timeout called by the Saints. Really wanted to go over that inbound pass, I would imagine, here with only 4 seconds remaining in a one-possession game. Bertolina now the inbounder for the Saints. Worley on her defensively. looking to probably get the ball in the hands of McCormick, looking around, and there's going to be a foul called on the inbound pass. Nelson had her arm wrapped around Reddick, and Reddick will be heading to the line, shooting 2. Excuse me, that was Webster defensively. And now Reddick will go to the line, shooting 2. Reddick's first shot on the way is good. 84-80 now your score. Second on the way is good, and it's a 2-possession game. Ball now in the hands of Worley. She's boxing the ball up, half-court shot on the way. Almost goes in, and a comeback for the Pacers falls just short. A valiant effort in the fourth period here as they'll fall 85-80 here at the Convocation Center. The Flagler Saints improved to 6-7 overall, 1-2 in Peach Belt play, and 1-4 now on the road as the Pacers fall to 4-9 on the season, 0-3 in Peach Belt play, which is very unfortunate in 3 close matchups at Lander and also at Georgia College, and they are now 3-2 here at the Convocation Center. The Pacers have a quick turnaround. They're back in action on Saturday at Augusta University, another highly contested, tough Peach Belt rival matchup. We're going to take a quick break, a 25 to 30-minute break, but don't go anywhere. The Flagler men and the Pacer men's basketball teams are about to tip off. I'm Reese Altman saying thank you so much for tuning in to Game 1 of our doubleheader, and we will see you in just a few minutes.